All right. So last section of chapter 6. Let's take a look. 2 triangle inequalities. All right, what in the world does this even mean? Okay, so let's read the first one. SAS inequality. So this states, if 2 sides of one triangle are congruent to 2 sides of another, and the included angle of the first is larger than the included angle of the other, then the third side of the first triangle is, what do you think? Do you not know what they're talking about?
No.
Let's draw it in the picture, okay? So let's see what we have to have first. 2 sides of one triangle congruent to 2 sides of another. So we're gonna have this side congruent to this side. And we're gonna have the bottoms congruent to each other as well. So there's our 2 sides that are congruent in 2 triangles. And it says the included angle of the first. So I'm gonna label my sides too, A, B, C, and D, E, F. So what they're telling me in this is that I don't know what angle A is. Actually, they actually have it backwards. Because if we want to go with how it looks, isn't D going to be bigger than A? So if angle D is going to be bigger than angle A, that means that I can say something about side EF compared to side BC. What do you think it is? Eve? Exactly. If these 2 sides are the same as these 2 sides, and I know that this angle is bigger, across from this bigger angle has to be a bigger side. If this is going to be a smaller angle, that's got to be a smaller side. So that's what they're telling us here. So let's finish off our dot, dot, dot. The third side of the first triangle is larger than the third side of the other triangle. Again, these are drawn a little bit backwards. So this is actually the first triangle that we're talking about. So this is triangle 1, this is triangle 2. So I'll put in values. So let's say I knew that angle D was, I don't know, 80 degrees. And I knew that angle A was only 60 degrees. So if I know that angle D is going to be bigger, that means side EF has to be bigger than side BC. So if angle D is greater than angle A, which it is in this case, then side EF will be greater than side BC. Does that make sense? You can kind of visualize it too. If you know you have 2 sides that are the same, right? And I open them up at different angle measurements. Of course, if I have a bigger angle measurement there, the third side's got to be bigger than if I close that and I made it a smaller angle. All right, we're okay there? Ish? Yeah? All right, let's look at side, side, side inequality. So what does this say? If 2 sides of one triangle are congruent to 2 sides of another, and the third side of the first is longer than the third side of the other, then the included angle of the first. Okay, so now we're basically going backwards. So let's draw it first, and we get to draw our own triangles. So I'm going to draw one of them. I'm going to draw one as an obtuse triangle. And then my second one, I'm going to try and keep these 2 sides the same length, but I'm going to tip this one this way. We'll do like this instead. So you get what I'm trying to do? I want those lengths to still match up. And then I'll just finish off this triangle. I'll give you a second to draw your triangles and then we'll fill in some pieces and talk about this. Oh, you know what? Let me give some letters here. A, B, C, and D, E, F. Okay, so here's what this is saying. I have two sides and two triangles that are congruent, right? I've got that. Two sides in one congruent to two sides in another. Okay, perfect. Now this other piece. The third side of the first is going to be longer than the third side of the second. So I don't know, let's say that this is 10 units long and maybe this is only 6 units long. What they're now saying is that I can compare those two angles that are across from those sides. I can make a statement about angle A and angle D. What is that statement? Patrick?
Angle A is going to be greater.
Exactly. Angle A has got to be greater. Even though I have no idea what any of the angle measurements are, it doesn't matter. I can compare angle A with angle D because I have two sides the same, two sides the same. So here, angle A will absolutely be greater than angle D. All right, so let's finish our dot, dot, dot. So we're going to say the included angle of the first triangle is larger than the included angle of the second triangle. And again, it makes sense. If I'm starting off with two triangles, I already have two sides the same. If I have this ginormous third side compared to a smaller third side, the angles across have to match up. Can you guys see that okay? Sorry, the light's always messing with me, this block. Okay. Is that better? Worse? That's worse. Okay, we feel all right? Not so bad? All right, so let's go ahead and practice with this. I do have an assignment for you. And look, I bet you'll be able to finish it during class and not have any homework over the weekend. Won't that be lovely? At least for geometry. How are your other classes going? Oh dear. Actually, hold on 1 second, because I want to double check that I want. This is the one that I want on this page. Oh yeah, okay, perfect. All right, so here is our assignment. Whoa. Okay, there it is. So those sections again, that says A and B. So you're going to do that section A and B, just the odds in both of them. And then on page 233, self-test 2 is pretty short. It's only 9 questions. So that'll help us in preparing for reviewing on Monday for your chapter quiz. What's your preferred method of review? Do we like Kahoot? Do we hate it?
I don't like it. I like it.
Do you like, well, what's your other option? What else would you want? If you don't like it, do you have something better? Always, so what I do have, I have some of the like practice, the book has like some practice tests and stuff. So I can what? Well, what I could offer both. If you don't want to do the Kahoot, then you could just do one of the practice tests from here. And then I could give it you the practice test if you wanted to do it later. I'll see what I have. I can't guarantee it because I got to make the Kahoot between now and then. And I know it seems like there's a lot of time, but there's really not. But I will see. I might have something already. I don't know. Anywho, try this. I'll look and see right now what I have. And then if you don't want to do the food, I can just give you one of the practice things to do. But I guess that's your fault. Okay, give it a shot. Feel free to work together. Let me know if you have questions.
What did you say? A equals B.
It's the section A and section B.
Yeah, I'm sure, yeah, you're right.
Are we actually going down as a class?
No,
Okay. When do you want me to see?
whenever you want. You want to go now or at the end? Or? Okay. Let me give you an envelope.
You can't write, so like, it's, yeah, it's fine.
Oh my gosh. I just realized for our advisory, I bought the gift card and I never, oh my gosh, I would have felt so bad. There it is. I even had, I made Miss Swanson go get it for me. Oh my gosh, could you imagine if I had forgotten? Okay, so this is for our advisory. Donation money for food donation.
Can I use a sticky note and write advisory on
Oh,
it?
sure.
Oh, oh, there. Oh, these ones are the cool ones. So exciting. Sorry.
They just go in those little
Hey, your
things.
pen.
Okay. Oh, I'm so glad I remembered. How bad would I have felt? I would have felt awful. And what if I had remembered, like, on Thanksgiving, like, oh my gosh, what a jerk I am. Thank you so much. And then, I should not pick the box. Yeah, just keep it right. That's our hotel. Thank you.
That's my stuff.
What was that bag? It was $50. No, bro, it's for good cause. It's for good cause.
Oh.
I'm almost in debt. I am. I have $2 in my wallet.